So welcome to this brief video, which has been created specifically for people who are industrial processors in industry with environmental responsibility, stack testers, environmental consultants, and of course researchers in India, and not least, of course, regulators who are responsible for implementing the new environmental laws in India. And vitally, of course, it's also applicable to the manufacturers of testing and monitoring equipment. So the purpose of this video is to explain the reasons why it's going to be so important to participate in CEM India 2024. And who better to ask for the reasons why participation is important than Sanjeev Kanchan, who I'm delighted to say is with me today, and he is chair of CEM India 2024. So welcome, Sanjeev. I wonder if you could just very briefly explain the path that has led you to become chair of CEM India.
Thank you, Graham, for inviting me. As a chair to the CEM India event, I'm very happy to be part of it again in its third session in the series. We started in 2017. I'm very happy to share that I initiated this CEM India event as a capacity building program. I've been working in the field of environment, closely working with the regulators and industries for their performance assessment, benchmarking, compliance for their emissions and other pollution sources, and also helping them in the capacity building. With the regulators, I have also been very lucky and privileged to work with, helping them in the capacity building in the area of regulation, as well as also strengthening the environmental norms in the various sectors. So while we started working on CEMs in 2014 onwards, when it was initiated by Central Pollution Control Board for all the major industries, we call it here 17 categories of highly polluting industries, and then it was implemented in all the rate category industries. These are the categorization of highly polluting industries in India. In 2014, it came as a direction from the central board, which was supposed to be followed by all the industries in India through state pollution control boards and pollution control committees. There has been challenges because of there are diverse number of technologies available, and suitability for different processes were complex thing. Indian stakeholders, industries, as well as the regulators were not very well aware of these technologies. There were the complexities. So there had been many challenges among the stakeholders. That was the time when we started thinking about the capacity building. They needed some guidance, they needed some training around that. And I had got the opportunity to attend CEM India, same event in Europe. And I found it is a wonderful platform where all these manufacturers around the world, who are certified manufacturers well known around in the world, had been presenting their technology. They were showcasing and displaying their technology, how this work, where it is suitable and all. That was a wonderful platform where I got the information and thought it to bring this in India and share with the stakeholders who should get benefited from. That is how the CEM India came into the picture, and since then I have been associated with it, and I have taken on board many relevant research organizations who can also share it with their network so that it reaches to the maximum number of people, relevant people, and people get benefits it from.
Okay, so it sounds like you're pulling in people from other countries who have already walked a similar path, made some mistakes, learned some things, and so it sounds like you're pulling them in to give the benefit of their experience to those who are now having to follow that path in India. Is that correct?
Right, correct. And since last two CEM India events, we did in 2017, we did in 2019, and we experienced it that the manufacturers, the technology manufacturers, regulators, and all the researchers around 40 countries joined the event. And we are getting it more this time. And all the Southeast Asian countries, European countries, and also from US, the people had joined, share their experiences. India is lucky in the situation that it is also the one of the biggest market for the CEMs. So where these manufacturers get their market, local stakeholders, Indian stakeholders get chance to come across all these varieties of technologies and choose among that. They can also get the knowledge, share the expertise with them, and they can also find the solutions if they have any problem. That was a wonderful platform. So we planned it to continue.
Understood. So, at what level will the presentations be pitched? Are we expecting CEOs of companies to come? Are we expecting engineers to come, or technical managers, environmental managers, or all of them?
So there were two things. Once we started this in 2017, that was the period when we saw there are very little information available to the people. So all those who are involved directly in the maintaining, purchasing, installing, operating, they were required to come because they needed first-hand experience and understand more about the technology. With the time, we upgraded the topics. So the first they understood the basic. We get little into the in depth to understand the processes and methodologies. And for the third time, right now when we are doing, we are more focusing on the maintenance and operations of this project, and so that the challenge which industry is facing right now, we are also assessing side by side that what is the requirement of the sector here in India right now. So we understand that that is the most critical part. The industry needs to know
Mm,
operation and maintenance, as well as regulator also needed to how to use this system for the environmental governance, like the system of establishing emission trading scheme, self-monitoring regime, etc. So here, this is the overall scheme of the event when we are doing. As far as participation is concerned, we saw it is equally important for the users on the ground in the plant, because they have to do it, use it in daily life. The top management also have joined it thoroughly, not
mm,
for the full time of event because it is a 3 days event, but I have seen that they also come to here to see the level of information is available. They also can make decision depending upon the information they can share, they can get from the directly from the manufacturers.
mm.
So they do also join here, but I see it is more relevant to, because it is a technological aspects which are covered, regulatory aspects which are covered. The users on the ground take it more seriously and more relevant.
Mm. And when environmental regulations are implemented anywhere in the world, there normally is a time period to allow the people that the regulations apply to adjust in order to meet those regulations. I know you mentioned that 2014 was in response to regulatory changes. Has that all rolled out now? Is everything in place? People need to comply now, or have things changed since that initial time?
I would not say that is the situation right here. We had been pushing it for that. Here are the two different things. I would say when it was started in 2014, there was no guidelines available or instructions, proper instructions available for the industries. And that is the reason there are many implementation challenges on the ground
Mm,
that we dealt. One is that after the experience, industry got the experience in the last 8 9 years. We also developed the guidelines which they follow. We had been carrying multiple training programs with the support of different organizations which they are learning it. There are two systematic gaps, infrastructure gaps right now. First, we when we understood that there was problem in implementation because there was no guideline in the beginning, so the problem in the system still persists in many of the cases, majorly the medium scale industries, because the larger one has the enough capacity to deal with those and correct it. Medium and smaller ones have the major problem. Uh, so in that case, the more of such support instructions that were required, like in this system, same system, impanelment of laboratories are very important aspect, because these laboratories on behalf of the industries independently can check the installations, can see their calibrations. This system is still not active here in India on infrastructure basis. The use of this same data, because this is not happening, data quality is not good enough up to the mark which we expected 9 years back. It is not up to the mark. So the data quality is not good. Since the data quality is not good, regulator is also not very confident to use it for the direct compliance check, legal compliance check. So
mm,
the system of using this data for the legal compliance check, it is still not in the place. State pollution control board are using this for the compliance check on their scale, but it is not legally backed. That will be required. And for that, it is required that we have a lab empanelment system who are independently can do those checks and then use that same data for the compliance. So these are the gaps. But before that, it is also, I also understand the requirement of the regulator. They also want some confidence in the data before it is used in the regulatory system.
Sure.
So both are going side by side. We are expecting that things will come up, but these are the two gaps we still believe has to be done by the government.
Okay, so presumably the themes for CEM India 2024 will reflect that situation.
Yes, it will be certainly be a picture. It is understood while we're discussing about the operation and maintenance, because this is to be done by the third-party laboratories, certain checks, calibration, recalibration. This is to be done. This will
So
be
we're
a kind of highlight, I would say.
so we're discussing this now in November 23, and the event will take place in February 24. Are the main themes already established for the conference?
Yes, considering, because when we started the planning about this event, we did initial study or assessment of this sector. I had been involved into this for a long time. So from that assessment, we understood what is the requirement of the stakeholders right now. So while we are covering different sets of technology, different available from the Europe and US, available to the stakeholders, we are focusing more on how they can select it. More of that we will focus. Most of the sessions has been into the operation and maintenance processes, technologies, steps to be taken, and then the experience sharing. Experience will be shared by the industry, experience will be shared by the installer, experience will also be shared by the manufacturers directly. There has been a new section added into it. People can also share about the air quality, because it is also related to certain extent. If you are doing monitoring, controlling the emission properly, what will be the air quality in that area. And it is one of the big market in India. People also need to learn about it, so we included some of the presentations on the air quality. And one of the important part where we are seeing this Indian same system is going about is establishing emission trading scheme in the future using carbon trading or other emission trading schemes. So there has been some presentation. We have invited some of the agencies or organization which has been initiated this kind of work in India. So we have taken them on board to discuss, present about it, and people would also like to learn about it. Regulators will certainly get a kind of knowledge or encouragement to perfect the same, to take into that direction. So that is one of the new thing, emission trading scheme.
Okay. So very briefly, if people are going to take time out of their busy days to come to CEM India 2024, how can you very briefly summarize what they can expect to take home with them?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, people are spending 3 days, but I'm very much confident that their 3 days will be paid off. Paid off in the sense of the information they take back to their workplace, to their home, will be really valuable, because this will be the first, third time, and if they have not attended previous events of same, this will be the first time, the largest or international platform for them, where they can see the different sets of technology range of technologies available to the market, which they can use. They can directly see their demonstrations, they can directly understand all those technology and collect information about it.
Mm.
They also have the opportunity to interact with those experts about the challenges they are facing right now in the implementation or operation and maintenance. They can get solution of that. They can also make their network in the future, if they want to do some kind of consultancies with them to improve their implementation or helping them in the operation and maintenance. So
Mm.
beside knowledge, getting the knowledge, understanding the different process, they also have opportunity to get the right people, to reach to the right people
Mm.
across the world wherever they need, where it is from regulators. They will certainly get this idea, because regulators who are joining new, they also have a list scope of coming across these kind of platforms, where is a single platform provide you global experience. So they will also have that opportunity. They will also have opportunity to see that where what other regulatory mechanism and are play in place in the other countries where it is going. So they have their the subject matter information they want to understand. And certainly industries, if they are joining, they are getting solution. Researchers, they are getting information. And the vendors or technology provider, they are getting their market, which is certainly huge in India.
Mm. And we should probably highlight the fact that there's going to be a major international exhibition running alongside the conference.
Right.
How would you describe the exhibition?
That is kind of, I would say, the highlight of the event. While we are presenting among through the technical sessions about the different recent trends, recent researches, or operation and maintenance processes, established processes, quality assurance processes, these people are attending to get the information and knowledge. But first-hand experience, what you get is from the exhibition. If you are going to source some information, you are in the process of getting some technologies for their operation, for your process or operation, you can directly can see those kind of equipments live. You can discuss about the different things. So that is, I would say, the highlight of the event, because you get the technologies, certified technologies available across 40, 50 countries directly at a single platform,
Mm.
where you cannot get it anywhere else otherwise.
Mm, mm. And that sounds great. I mean, it's wonderful that we can talk over the internet like this, but there's nothing like looking somebody in the eye and describing your process and looking somebody in the eye and say, will your equipment monitor my process accurately and reliably? And if you can have a look at the equipment physically, talk to the person who is from the actual manufacturer, that's going to raise your levels of confidence enormously. So
Yes.
that all sounds great. I've probably used up enough of your time already, but I wonder if you could finish by just reminding us where and when the event will take place, and how do people register to attend?
So this event is happening during 28th to 22nd of February 2024 in Leela Convention Center, which is a five-star hotel in Delhi area. And that is the same place where we had been organizing since last two times.
Yeah.
So this is a huge space. So people have, it is easily accessible for the people. But this event, because we want to focus on the relevant people, and there's a huge amount of time and effort is required to organize and bring these people on the single platform. We do want that the relevant people comes, join, and they get the kind of experience and the benefit out of it we wanted. So pre-registration is mandatory. It is certainly a paid event, because we beside the conferences, technical sessions and exhibition, we have arrangement for refreshment, lunches, etc. available for all 3 days people want. So it is a event where prior registration is required. So people can go to the CEM India 2024 website, and they can easily search it on Google. They can go to the website, can register there.
I know that in the past you've had hundreds and hundreds of people attending. Does that mean places are limited? Should people register as soon as possible, or is there no hurry?
Yes, certainly. As I said, this is in a closed environment. The hotel has a limited capacity. It is huge, but it still have a limited capacity.
Mm.
Seeing the past attendance, we have seen that around 100 to 1,000, 800 to 1,000 people joins. So it is very much important that people get it prior registered. If it is not, we might feel sorry later on, because the uh, space availability is certainly challenging, because the kind of uh, um, interest we get is really huge. So I certainly recommend for to the people that they register it well in advance.
Fantastic. That's great, Sanjeev. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope it's a fantastic event.
Thank you very much.